Welcome to my channel, The Human Frontier. When I first joined the Orion Imperial Fleet, I thought I had found my purpose. Back then, Earth had just been admitted into the Galacticempire, a massive coalition of alien civilizations ruled by a single sovereign known simply as the Queen of Stars. Most humans celebrated the moment as the dawn of a golden age. For me, it was an opportunity. My name is Marcus Hale, former combat engineer of the Orion Imperial Fleet. I spent 12 years traveling across star systems, repairing warships during battles, building orbital defenses, and surviving conflicts that most humans couldn't even imagine. I watched suns burn from orbit. I walked on planets where the sky was purple and lightning storms lasted for weeks. And after 12 long years, I was tired. So I filed my resignation. That's when everything went wrong. The empire that never sleeps. The Imperial Fleet headquarters orbited a blue supergiant star in the capital system of Valoria Prime. The station itself was enormous, larger than most cities back on Earth. Every corridor was filled with alien species, towering insectoid strategists, crystalline diplomats, armored warriors from distant planets. And above them all ruled her. Queen Serelith. The first time I ever saw her had been during my induction ceremony years ago. She was taller than most humans, with silver skin that shimmered faintly like moonlight. Her eyes glowed a deep violet, and her presence filled an entire chamber without her speaking a single word. Every species in the Empire respected her. Some feared her. Others worshipped her. I simply tried not to think about her. Until the day she personally denied my resignation. "The Queen wants to see you." I was halfway through packing my quarters when the door chimed. I expected a logistics officer. Instead, 3 Imperial guards stood outside. They were Varian warriors, nearly 8 feet tall, armored in black biometal armor that hummed softly with power. One of them spoke. "Marcus Hale." "Yeah. The Queen summons you." I blinked. "The Queen?" I laughed nervously. "That must be a mistake." The guard didn't move. "There is no mistake." My stomach dropped. There were trillions of citizens in the Empire. The Queen didn't summon people like me. Unless something was very wrong. The Throne of Stars. The throne chamber of Valoria Station was unlike anything I had ever seen. The room stretched nearly half a kilometer wide, its ceiling made entirely of transparent crystal. Beyond it, the massive blue star burned like an ocean of fire. At the center of the chamber stood a raised platform of living metal. And on it sat Queen Serelith. Even after all these years, seeing her again made the air feel heavier. She wore flowing armor that looked almost liquid, shifting between silver and deep violet. A crown of living crystal floated just above her head. The guards stopped at the entrance. I walked forward alone. Every step echoed through the enormous chamber. When I finally reached the platform, I knelt. It wasn't required for humans. But it felt appropriate. "Marcus Hale," her voice echoed softly across the chamber. It was calm, beautiful, and terrifyingly powerful. "Yes, Your Majesty. You have submitted a request to leave the Imperial Fleet." "Yes." She studied me. Her glowing violet eyes were unnervingly sharp. "You wish to return to Earth?" "Yes, Your Majesty. And abandon your position." I hesitated. I wouldn't call it abandoning. I've served 12 years. Indeed. The silence stretched. Then she spoke again. "Your request is denied." I thought she was joking. I blinked. "Denied?" The Queen tilted her head slightly. "You are surprised. With respect, resignations don't require approval." Her eyes glowed slightly brighter. "In the Imperial Fleet, they do." I exhaled slowly. "Your Majesty, I'm just an engineer. You've got thousands like me." "Incorrect." Her response was immediate. We have thousands of engineers. She leaned forward slightly. We have only one Marcus Hale. That sentence made the entire room feel colder. I tried to laugh it off. With respect, Your Majesty, I'm not that special. She stared at me for several long seconds. You rebuilt a warship reactor during the siege of Carthage while under enemy bombardment. That was my job. You stabilized a collapsing Stargate with only 2 hours of preparation. Someone had to. You designed the planetary defense grid now protecting 3 core systems. I frowned. Okay, but you are also the only human officer who has survived direct contact with the Void Swarm. That memory sent a chill down my spine. The Void Swarm. Creatures from beyond normal space. Nightmare fuel. I'd barely escaped that mission alive. I rubbed the back of my neck. Look. I'm honored you noticed all that. But I'm tired. I just want to go home. The Queen leaned back slowly. Her gaze softened. You misunderstand. How? You believe this is a career. She paused. For the Empire, it is survival. The truth I was never told. The Queen rose from her throne. When she stepped down from the platform, the entire chamber seemed to shift with her presence. She stopped only a few feet away from me. Up close, her eyes were even more intense. Marcus Hale, she said quietly. Yes. The Void Swarm you encountered was not a random attack. I frowned. What do you mean? It was the first scout fleet. My stomach tightened. For what? Her answer came slowly. An invasion. The word echoed through the chamber like a distant thunderclap. How big? I asked quietly. She didn't hesitate. Extinction level. My mouth went dry. And the Empire's solution is me? No. She stepped closer. The Empire's solution is humanity. I blinked. What? Your species adapts faster than any we have encountered. She gestured toward me. You are proof of that. I shook my head. You're exaggerating. She leaned down slightly, meeting my eyes directly. Am I? For the first time, I wasn't sure. The real reason she said no. Your Majesty, I said carefully, even if what you're saying is true. I'm just one person. Yes. And that means I can't save the galaxy. I am aware. Then why can't I go home? For the first time since entering the chamber. The Queen smiled. It wasn't cruel. Or mocking. It was almost warm. Because, she said softly, I did not summon you here to keep you in the fleet. I frowned. Then why? She turned and gestured toward the massive star burning beyond the crystal ceiling. The Empire is preparing for war. Okay. And wars require leaders. I felt a sudden sense of dread. Your Majesty. She looked back at me. Marcus Hale, would you like a promotion? I stared at her. What kind of promotion? The kind where you command the Empire's new human fleet. My brain stopped working. You're joking. I am not. I'm an engineer. You are a survivor. I fix machines. You understand them better than most admirals understand strategy. This is insane. She crossed her arms calmly. Possibly. I paced a few steps, trying to process what was happening. I came here to quit my job. Yes. And you're offering me command of a fleet. Yes. That's not even close to the same thing. Correct. I stopped walking. Why me? Her answer came instantly. Because you are the only human who had the courage to request leaving the Empire. I frowned. That doesn't make sense. She smiled again. It means you are not afraid of us. The realization hit me slowly. You want someone who won't blindly obey. Yes. And you think that's a good trait for a fleet commander? In this war. She paused. It may be the only trait that matters. The moment everything changed. I looked up at the burning star beyond the ceiling. 12 years. All I had wanted was peace. A quiet life back on Earth. Maybe a small house somewhere. Fishing. Sunsets. Normal things. But now I knew something I couldn't ignore. If the Queen was telling the truth, Earth wasn't safe. None of us were. I looked back at her. You planned this. Her eyebrow lifted slightly. Planned what? You knew I'd try to leave. Perhaps. And you waited until I did. She didn't deny it. I sighed. That's manipulative. It is effective. I rubbed my face. I really wanted to go home. The Queen's voice softened slightly. You still will. I frowned. What? When this war ends. She stepped closer again. You may leave the Empire whenever you wish. Except right now. Yes. I shook my head slowly. This is the worst resignation meeting in history. For the first time since entering the chamber. The Queen laughed. A quiet, musical sound that echoed across the enormous hall. Marcus Hale. Yes, Your Majesty. Welcome to command. I sighed deeply. I had a bad feeling about today. She smiled. Good. Why? Because the fate of the Empire, she said calmly, now depends on you. And that's the story of how I tried to leave the Empire. And accidentally became the commander of humanity's first interstellar fleet. Honestly, I still think retirement would have been easier. Thank you for listening. Subscribe for more cinematic science fiction stories.